I'm Ray Pardini Matson, and this is the Coffee Monday podcast. Here, we talk about all the things, the messy, the meaningful, and everything in between that fuels your week. I sit down with people who are figuring it out, leveling it up, and keeping it real all along the way. All right, friends, let's pour into it. Angela, I am so happy to have you here as a friend, as a colleague, as somebody I respect and admire in all the ways. Such a treat to have you here in our pink in support of breast cancer awareness. Yes. So you're so well known in the community as a powerhouse behind so many local marketing efforts through Trinity Company. That's how we originally met. Mm-hmm. But today we're diving into something a little bit more personal. I would love for you to start however you would like to, sharing a little bit about yourself personally and professionally, the woman behind the title, if you will.
Okay, so personally, I am the only girl of 3 boys, and I was raised with 2 amazing parents, and it'll be their 53rd anniversary in November.
Oh,
I'm originally from Dinuba, so a small town girl.
Love it.
And went at Fresno State, and that's me. And I have a wonderful dog.
How do we forget Miles?
Miles, I know. How did I forget
my
Miles?
gosh, he's so cute.
Miles, micro mini golden doodle, 4 years old.
So cute.
That's me personally.
Love it.
And of course, we have a wonderful family of, 8 nephews, 2 nieces. Did I do that right? I think.
Yeah. Are they all relatively close-ish?
The furthest is like Monterey.
Okay,
County.
so California.
Yeah.
Great.
Actually, wait, no, I have 1 nephew in Idaho. Yeah.
Yeah. Not too far.
Yes.
Not too far.
Not too far.
Yeah, that's sweet. What do they call you? Auntie? Aunts?
They call me Angela, and then some call me Tia.
Cute.
Teeya.
Oh, so
They're cute.
I love it. I love it. And then professionally, so you went to Fresno State. Did you stay here after school?
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay.
I went to Fresno State. I have a degree in special education, but I decided to stick with an ag. I started out as an ag business major, and then I changed it immediately to special ed. So I jokingly say that my degree in special ed is totally benefits the agriculture world. So it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Works both ways.
Yeah.
So,
What a diverse background, though. So you started in ag business, and then you switched to special education, and did you graduate with the special education degree? Wow.
and I stayed in ag, and I love it. Yeah.
Love it.
I love what I do.
Love it. You're so good at what you do. I feel like we have that in common in that we didn't study what we work in. So, like, advice to those that are in school right now, don't get hung up on your major, right?
Yes. I think I'm a big advocate for, go to school. I think it's great. It helps you, to challenge yourself, to overcome, to learn more about who you are. But if you don't, just because you have your degree in something doesn't mean if, one lane opens up for you and that's it, just walk in it.
So post-college, what was your first job in ag?
Post-college, my first job in ag was with Fowler Packing Company.
Okay.
So I worked with Fowler even while I was at Fresno State.
Oh, great. So during school. So you knew like in school that you definitely wanted to go down that path.
I did know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then was at Fowler for about 8 years, and then I left to go work for a grape company in Delano.
Oh, wow.
Which is Dulcich Vineyard, or Dulcich is the company, but Pretty Lady Vineyard. So grape grower. Yeah.
Love.
And then came back to Fresno because, I was driving to Delano. And that's kind of where being in Delano, really working for Nick Dulcich, he was just like, his mind was super marketer. He just saw it differently. When you are in our space, sometimes you can see things that are boring. And I think he allowed me to see that marketing fresh fruit can be fun. And so I kind of would just glean off of him and was like a sponge.
Love.
but I wanted to come back to closer to home. So that's what.
Love. Yeah. And then the opportunity came from Trinity Fruit. How long have you been with Trinity?
I've been with Trinity for 8 years.
Wow, amazing. VP of marketing. So going into the marketing world, did you know you wanted to kind of create that path for yourself in the ag community, or did you try other sort of facets of ag business before you were like, yeah, marketing's my thing?
So I used to say that I wanted to get into sales. But I'm not a very, I'm more of a heart person. I want to get to know you. I want to build a relationship. And I'm not saying that's not what sales does, but sales can also be very transactional. I wanted my career to be deeper than just transactional. So it just kind of something that I grew into. I started out as a marketing coordinator, as an assistant, and it just kind of kept going forward in my path and learning. And I mean, I always say I'm a professional shopper. So when you're a good shopper, you kind of get in the mind of a consumer. So it's like, what's going to entice me to buy this? And I'm not just saying clothing, I'm groceries. What is super cool? What products are out there that are fun? Right. 90% of consumers, they purchase with their eyes. So it's what's enticing them in. And then once you get the draw.
What's their heart feeling? What's the feeling they're feeling? That's like perfect for you.
So I love all
And full circle, you are selling something. You are in sales in a lot of respects, right?
So now I feel like my role has been transitioning, and I don't have a sales title. Don't want it. Right. I love what I do, but I also like that I can be a hybrid for sales. So I work really close with the sales team, really close with David and Gunnar, and just kind of, get the retailer, make the connections, work out some programs, packaging, promotional ads, how we can work together. So I love to work together with the team, and then, let them do the transactions, let them deal with all the minutia that comes with sales and logistics. I'm like, bye. That's where I tap out.
I love my life. I love my life right now. Yeah. But you're such a great liaison between the departments. You have to be, right? Yeah. And you guys have so much going on, so many new product launches, so many fun events, like very community focused. It's awesome. Yeah. Amazing. But we're here to talk about something a little bit more personal. And I appreciate you being here to share, because I know we've both sort of shared our hearts in different things that we've gone through personally and professionally. And it's hard to do, but I'm just really grateful that you're here to be able to share your story, to hopefully educate women that are going through maybe something similar to what you did, or make sure that they are aware of things to look for. So specifically, we are wearing pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it's both of our favorite color. And we established that.
Yes.
Whether I wear it all the time or not, you're welcome. This is my one pink shirt.
Yes.
Just kidding. But if you don't mind taking us back to how old you were, where you were in your life when you were diagnosed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was 2 years ago. I was diagnosed at the age of 40. I had just came back from celebrating my 40th birthday in Paris. I was showering one day, and I was washing my body. And while I was washing my breasts, I felt a lump.
So you did?
I found it.
Okay.
And I thought, and I was feeling it around. It wouldn't move. It stayed there. And it was felt like a marble, very hard, like a rock. I didn't think anything of it, to be honest, because I had in the past, since I was 27, I had little breast hiccups. So I have had cysts removed and a tumor removed that were all benign. So I didn't think anything of it.
Right.
I had mammograms since I was 27.
Because of those hiccups, right? Things, extra eyes.
Yes.
Okay.
So I didn't think anything of it. I've had biopsies done. So I just thought, you know. And I also thought maybe was menstrual.
Right.
So I had just a normal checkup with my doctor, and I actually had her feel my breast. And she said, oh, maybe something's wrong with your implant. And I'm like, I don't have an implant. I know. So I laughed, and I'm like, right, been going to her for years. And I'm like, I don't have an implant.
Yeah.
And she said, well, let's get this checked out. So we did. And
what does that mean? Like, do you biopsy it? Do you do a ultrasound? Do you do a mammogram?
Scheduled a mammogram.
Okay.
So they do something called diagnostic ultrasound. So they do a mammogram, but because I had dense breast, they do something called diagnostic ultrasound. So it's a little more invasive, I think you just see things a lot clearer than a normal mammogram. So we did all that, and they said, okay, you know, we're going to... So what's interesting, though, is when I was laying here they're doing all this, and they're doing the ultrasound.
Yeah.
I was always so nosy with all my ultrasounds, right? Like, I ask tons of questions, and I'm looking at everything they're doing. And this one was different.
Really?
This one on the screen, when they're doing the ultrasound, I can see, and, you know, you can see where they're pushing.
Did it hurt?
Breast. No.
Okay.
But I could just see on the x-ray that something looked different than the other ones that I had in the past. Still, I'm still not thinking anything. I'm like, it's probably nothing.
Right.
Well, they told me they were going to have me come back to do a biopsy. And I'm like, okay. We had that scheduled. And then that following week, I left to New York. I did an executive leadership program at Cornell University. So I was gone. And while I was there, they called and asked if they could see me when I had came back to do they bumped up the biopsy
appointment. Okay.
So as soon as I came back, over the weekend. On Tuesday was the biopsy. And at that appointment, they told me, okay, well, we'll see you on Friday at 3 p.m. And I'm like, or you'll call me, right? And they're like,
right.
Yeah, well, we'll call you or we'll see you. And I'm like, I thought that was weird that they already had this appointment.
Correct. And they wanted you to come back in person?
Yes.
Okay.
So again, still, I'm like, this is nothing.
Right.
And so I call my mom, and I'm telling her everything. She knows all along what's happening. And so she goes, okay, well, Dad and I'll come up, and Dad he'll stay with Miles. And I'm like, why are you going to come to Fresno? They're just going to tell me it's nothing.
And did you say that, or are you just thinking
I
that
told
in your
her
mind?
this.
Okay.
Why are you going to come to Fresno if they're just going to tell me it's nothing?
Right.
And then my mom, she said, good. I want to hear out of the doctor's mouth that it's nothing.
Right.
I'm like, okay.
Love
fair.
that.
You're my mom.
Yes.
So they came Friday, met me at the hospital at Clovis Community, and my dad stayed with Miles, went for a walk, and my mom went in with me. And we went in, and they said, unfortunately, we found that you have breast cancer. And at that point, everything was just noise. And everything was like noise. It was just hearing him talk, and my mom just held on to my hand. And I was in shock. I didn't know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of like,
you were kind of like, it's
because
nothing
I was
until
so
it's
optimistic. Like it's nothing. It stopped me completely.
Right.
And I remember him saying, it's from right now, what we can see is it's stage 1.
Okay.
We have no lymph nodes right now. We don't see any of that, but we're going to, we're going to give your case to a team, and you'll be in contact.
Okay.
With a team. And do you have any questions? And I'm like, I don't even know what.
You're like, I'm shocked, but I also probably have so many questions.
I did. I couldn't even think though.
Right.
So that was that. They gave me a packet of information, with all the pathology. And I held my mom's arm walking out, and I told her I needed to use the restroom, and she said, I'm going to come with you.
Yeah, she didn't want to leave you by yourself.
She came with me, and I looked at her, and I just cried.
Mm-hmm.
And she cried too.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, you're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. God's going to get us through this. And
what an amazing support system.
As soon as I walked out, my dad was walking towards us. And it was like the look he probably saw on our face.
Mm-hmm.
And all my mom told him was, it came back. Angela has breast cancer. And he immediately just held me.
Aww.
And he said, you're going to be okay. God is always taking care of you. You're going to be okay. And that was that. They asked me if I wanted to go home with them.
Yeah.
And I told them, no, I want to go to my home. And, of course, they made sure I was okay.
Right.
And I got in the car. And I had already told a few friends that I was going to this. And I got in the car and I first I cried.
Yeah.
And I prayed. And I called some friends. And then the next person I called was Lisa White, to let her know, because one, she's a prayer warrior, but two, from female to female, it would have been awkward for me to call David. So
yeah,
I call, female. And Lisa is just that. She is like the heart of our company. So I immediately, I called her and actually text her, let me know when you have a minute. We can talk. She called me right away and we talked and I told her. I was still, so that day, actually, I had plans with one of my best friends. She was coming over for dinner and we were going to go have drinks. And so I didn't tell her till she got to my house because I was thinking, well, one, I felt like God knew, right? God knows everything.
Yes.
But he knew I was going to need her. Totally. In this moment. Yes. All these dots were, so I had dinner with her that same night. We still continued, because when she came over, I told her and she was like, do you want to just stay in? I'm like, no, we're going to dinner.
Good for you.
We're going to go have a drink.
Good for you.
We're going to go to dinner.
Yes.
And because I didn't think that it was an accident, that it was, right, I live alone. I don't have kids. I'm not married. So I don't think that it was an accident that I had her there.
Yeah.
And what is even more interesting, I got the news on Good Friday.
Really?
It was on Good Friday. And so that weekend I was going to go see my family for Easter.
Right, for Easter, yeah.
So I
also nice to have family.
So I did go the next day. Yes, I did go the next day to stay with my parents and then went and had Easter Sunday with my family. But
yeah.
So that's how it all came about. The medical team moved very fast.
Sounds like it. So they gave you the diagnosis on that Friday. Prior to feeling the lump, did you have any other symptoms? Were you feeling off at all? Like, did you notice anything that was abnormal?
No. Yes and no. See, I was traveling a lot at this time.
Right?
So I was on the road a lot. I was on and off airplanes. I was in different states. Right. I was gone like 2 to 3 times a month, it felt like. So busy. I felt really drained in my body, tired. I remember going to actually urgent care in January because I did not feel good. We had lost my grandmother, in November. So I think it was that. I think I was just go.
Right.
But no.
So you didn't know if it was like the lifestyle?
No, but so I did research because I did my own research. Could this, but when you, a lot of the research that I did, when you have breast cancer, you don't really know it by how you're feeling. It's usually lump, dimpling, or like leakage in your nipple. So I didn't have it. Mine was a lump.
Yeah. Hey, Coffee Monday friends. It's Ray Pardini Matson here with a cozy little update from my go-to coffee spot, Dutch Bros. Their 2025 fall menu just dropped, and trust me, these drinks are everything you need to kick off sweater season. First up, the Caramel Pumpkin Brulee, a returning fan fave that's basically fall in a cup. Think creamy caramel and all the pumpkin flavors. Next, another beloved classic, the Cookie Butter Latte. Sweet and perfect for those chilly mornings when you just need something comforting. And the big news this year, the brand new Candied Cherry Rebel. It's bold, sweet, and the perfect energy boost with a fall twist. Whether you're headed to work, a football game, or chasing the kiddos around the pumpkin patch, these are all great options to complement the fall season. I love that Dutch Bros has something for everyone, so grab your fall fave, snap a pic, and don't forget to check in with Dutch Bros on their app or Instagram at Dutch Bros Fresno for the latest happenings.
But I will tell you, this slowed me down, and it stopped.
Really?
It stopped all the travel. It stopped everything.
I would think so. Yes. I would think so. Physically in that regard, but also mentally, right? Like, it sounds like you were already a woman of strong faith prior to diagnosis, right? You're referencing your faith in God, that all these things were in place for you. Like, that probably was a huge support system, I imagine, for you during this time, right? Your faith and your prayer and your support team of friends and family and loved ones, right? But okay, so let's back up. Diagnosis, you said they were quick to treat.
So diagnosis, yes. So after...
So that was a Friday, Easter Sunday weekend.
I think that I had an appointment that next week.
Okay.
So you meet with your case team.
Okay.
So I met with the oncologist, the oncology surgeon, the radiologist, and then I scheduled. Then I saw a fertility specialist, and then a plastic surgeon. So.
And they line all those people up for you? Are you doing research on those people? A combination of both?
Everybody up. So you're given it's a nurse navigator who kind of watches your case.
Okay.
Of course, I did my own research, who my doctors were.
Yes.
Who the plastic surgeon was, all of these things. I felt after my first meeting, so my whole family went. At this time, they were still kind of coming off of COVID. It was in 2023, but I think hospitals were still kind of you can only have one person with you.
Yeah.
So I had my mom, and then they have this family room. So the brothers, my family, were able to be in that other room to hear what was going on. The doctor, nice. So they can hear everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So you're given a gown, you go into this room, and doctors come in one at a time to see you. So first doctor that came in, oncologists, talked to me about the kind of cancer I had. So there are different types of cancer. There's mine was ER/PR positive, HER2 negative, which is estrogen, and I can't remember all the terminology, but it's estrogen positive. So it's hormone. You're basically, the cancer I had it fed off of hormones.
Okay.
Estrogen. And then HER2 negative, which is a less aggressive. So I had the worst case.
Okay.
So it's treatable.
Yes.
So there are different types. So oncologist comes in, talks about everything.
Like the treatment plan or what?
Kind of. Okay. Actually, she came in last. So actually it was a surgeon. Came in, okay, this is what we found. We can go in and do a lumpectomy, which is just remove it with your history. Because my mom's sister had breast cancer.
Okay.
So with your family history and your, own personal breast history, these are the options. And one was lumpectomy or a single mastectomy. And that's what I was going to go for at first.
Which
I was
one?
going to do the single mastectomy. I was just remove the one breast.
Yes.
And she said, okay, yes, that's something I'm in favor of. Okay, next doctor, radiologist. Okay, you don't need to see me unless, so they're all ifs right now, right?
Right.
All of these are hypotheticals because they don't know until they actually go in.
Makes sense.
And then the next one was the oncologist. Okay, this is what you have. These are the things we're going to do. So all in the meantime, I had labs done to see if I had gene mutation. I didn't have gene mutation. Because all of these things factor into the type of chemo, how long your chemo, surgeries, what all your procedures and treatment. Yeah. So, okay, had all my appointments. Then you go back home, gather all your thoughts. Well, I am a dreamer. I had a dream. Something in my dream that I was supposed to have both of them removed. Something. I can't even explain it. But I woke up that morning. I called my mom and I said, I think I'm supposed to have a double mastectomy. And she said, we will, whatever you want to do.
Right. And no doctor had suggested that.
No.
You just had this vision of like, I feel like that's be the right thing
to do.
Yes.
And then let me back up here. So because I don't have kids, and I know I'm not married yet, the oncologist said, we want you to see a fertility specialist because you might want to freeze your eggs.
Smart.
So I'm like, okay. So before you could do anything, that's like the main thing they want you to do because you need to do all that first. So went and saw a fertility specialist, and that's what I was going to do. But something again did not sit right with me. Like I brought all of the syringes home to start giving myself shots, to start doing everything. But it was going to be a lot. So I was going to have to give myself a shot to create estrogen, then to take a pill to counteract the estrogen because everything that's happening in my body.
Yes.
I just felt like, one, I was never a person like, oh my gosh, I want to get married and I want to have kids. Of course I want to get married.
Yes.
But I've never been like, oh my gosh, I'm 40, I need to have kids. I've never been that person. When I was younger, I wanted to have kids. But as I got older and super career driven, it wasn't like the focus.
Yes.
So I was going for a walk and I called my mom and I told her that night I was supposed to give myself my first shot. I said, does it feel right? I feel like I'm not supposed, I don't know. I feel like I'm genetically modifying my body. Like, and so she said, Angela, you do whatever you want. And I said, I don't think I want to do this. She said, then don't do it. So next morning I called fertility specialist and I said, I decided to not do this. And they said, okay. And I said, I will deliver the syringes back to you. And next day passed and they called me and they said, were you going right? Because I'm still having this hard time of mourning, like, oh, I'm not going to be able to have a baby. Now it's like, wait, I want a kid. So I'm going through this like internal
on
fight
top of the diagnosis, all of it, a lot.
So they called me the next day and they're like, we gave you our last, basically they were waiting for an order to come in. They gave me the last like kit that they had. And so they said, can you bring that? So actually my coworker, it was too hard for me to go and deliver them. So Jackie Nakashian went and delivered them. But what's interesting is the nurse told me that there was a mom waiting for them.
Yeah.
And so I wrote a note to whoever got them.
Okay.
That
now you're going to make me cry.
That I prayed that she would have a baby because one, I was feeling this tug in me, like, don't do it. Two, a female on the other end was waiting for these syringes. So
last one.
I didn't go through with the fertility. So, see my doctors again. I'm like, this is what I decided to not do. I'm not going to go through with it. And they're like, okay, well, that's usually the hard part because after we do that whole procedure, we have to make sure that we house.
I would imagine that being a lot on your body.
I decided to not do
everything else.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so saw my doctors again, and I told Dr. Gamina, my oncology surgeon, I want to do a double mastectomy. And she said, okay. She said, typically we're not in favor for them unless you need it.
Right.
But in your case, because of your family history and your breast history, I will do it for you. And because you're small, because, it's like the more time in surgery, the more prone you are to infection. So they want to, they want to preserve your life. They're trying to do everything to keep you healthy.
Right.
So she granted that she would do it. See the breast, the reconstruction surgeon, Dr. Zuniga. And so anyways, we do all these things now, right? So I don't see oncology now until we have the surgery. So we do double mastectomy, and then we went direct to implant. So when we did the double mastectomy, they found that I did have a positive node, which then moves your stage to 2.
Huh.
So I had a positive node, and I also, when pathology came back, I also had positive margin.
Okay.
So I kind of was freaked out. And the moment I didn't want to Google or research anything, I just wanted to get all this out of me.
Mm-hmm.
But come to find out, so I talked to my surgeon about it, and she's like, well, usually when you go through chemo, that just kind of cleans it all out. So when I go back in to clear we'll go back in, and then we'll look to make sure margins are cleared.
Right.
So I saw my oncologist and started, back up here. Got a PET scan because when you have a positive node, they want to make sure that the cancer has not gone anywhere else. Mm-hmm. So had a PET scan. Everything came back great.
Oh, good.
And then started treatment on July 17th of 2023.
Wow. And this is post-surgery. Treatment plan was what? Chemo, radiation, combination of both?
First, it was chemo. I did 16 rounds of chemo. I did 4 rounds of very hard chemo. That was every other week. And then the last 12 rounds were every week.
Wow. Angela. So
something that I was thinking about coming on here and talking about it, and I never really shared this on my social media, like how deep I'm going to go here. So I went direct to implant, and I went on a little getaway to the coast to just kind of get away. One of my friends was in town from Florida visiting, and I was carrying a duffel bag in my right arm, and I was walking through a doorway, and the bag ricocheted back into my chest. It cut the door short. Duffel bag ricocheted back, and I didn't feel good that night. I had fever. I had chills. I did not feel good. I just wanted to sleep. Yeah. Also, I was on the hardest chemo, so I just thought it was chemo.
You're just like going through all of it.
I really thought it was chemo.
Yeah.
That week I come back, and I'm at home making me eggs, washing dishes, and I felt like I was going to pass out. No, wait. Let's back up here. No, my right breast started to leak. That's what happened. Okay, my right breast started to leak, so I called the doctor, my surgeon.
And you noticed it?
Yeah, wait, and I noticed. Yeah, I went to see my doctor. Yes, I noticed like it started leaking on the side.
Oh no!
And so I call my surgeon. I go in, and he's like, "We have to have emergency surgery. We need to remove this implant. There's infection." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yes." He's like, "What happened?" And I told him, I'm like, the only thing I can think of was that hit.
Yeah.
He said, couldn't have been that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We still don't know, but I think that's what it was. And I think that I was on the strongest chemo that my body couldn't fight
just
the
like
trauma.
Weak. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, emergency surgery. They removed the right. So I, at this time, only have one breast. I have no breast on the right.
Right.
I have one implant on the left.
Do you mind me asking, was it saline or silicone?
Saline.
So you knew it was clearly, visibly. Okay.
So then it was that week after I come back from surgery and everything, I'm washing dishes after, making eggs. Well, I felt like I was going to pass out. I was super scared. And I sat I was sitting in my living room. I called my mom. I told her how I was feeling, and she said, "Okay, I will head there now."
And she doesn't live in
No, my parents live in Dinuba.
Yeah.
She said, we will head there now. And I said, okay, I'm going to call an ambulance. And she was like, she didn't feel good. So I called an ambulance. I told them. They came. Well, they were on their way. Called my neighbor, Damon, who lived close by. He ran over. He waited with me. Well,
and you just felt like you were going to pass out, like super weak, like dizzy,
passed out.
Scary.
Just scared.
Scary.
So ambulance comes. They take me to community. They do a CT and ultrasound on the left breast, but nothing is showing. So I just want to say shout out to amazing doctors, because my plastic surgeon actually came in to see me. It was Labor Day weekend. He came into the ER to see me, and he said, all right, this is what's showing. This is what's not. We can remove the left to appease mine, or we can just wait it out. So basically, I had infection.
Okay.
It showed nothing.
Yeah.
So I just said, let's remove it. I just wanted to. So I don't know. Nobody really knows except close friends and family. But yeah, I didn't have breasts. I was flat. I had 0 breasts for about 5 months.
Wow.
I couldn't look at myself in the mirror for a very long time. My mom would, she would check everything for me till one day, she would help bathe me. Of course, you can't shower, so from the waist down, she would help bathe me. And my dad would take care of Miles. We didn't want him jumping on me because I had drains.
Yeah.
And one day I finally told her I'm ready to look at myself. And because I would get out of my bathtub and there's a huge mirror there. So I would seriously, I would not want to, didn't want to look at myself.
Yeah.
This time I told her I want to look. And then I looked at myself and I bawled. I bawled my eyes. I had no breasts. You see yourself. You see yourself. It's like you're deformed because not only do you not have breasts, but there's an indentation. You're concave because they removed the tissue, so you have nothing there. You have bone. It was so hard. So for a while, I didn't do any prosthetics. Yeah.
So hindsight, do you regret getting the implants right after or not?
No.
What'd you call it?
Hindsight, I feel like God knew that down the road I was going to have radiation. And so when you're going through radiation, they recommend they don't want an implant there because then that can cause your implant can it can be deformed.
Yeah.
It can. Yeah. So I feel like in hindsight, God was actually protecting me. And he was like, let's take these out. Because she was going to have to go back in anyways to see if margins were clear.
Oh.
So it's seriously, I feel like in hindsight, God knew, let's remove these. Let my body just heal my mind. So, I would all through this, I would tell my family, because you see your family go through this, but gosh, this is when my faith really, I was born and raised in church, but this is when I just held on to God for dear life with everything. Every decision. Do I do the double? Do I do the single? What do I do?
Really leaned into prayer.
Everything.
Yeah.
And nobody told me you should do this, you should do that. In fact, when I told my family I decided to not do fertility, one thing my mom said was, and that's fine, that's okay. And I think that being the only girl of all boys, I did imagine that one day I would maybe carry a baby or be a mom. And so I felt like that was something I would give, one, my parents, and two, my future husband. But when you're hearing that from your mom, especially, you grow up with an amazing mom and you just look at her and think like, one day I want to be as amazing as you. But hearing her and just being so supportive and like she was probably looking at me like, I don't care, like, what are you talking about, girl? Like,
right.
And
it just sounds like she always knew the right thing to say.
Yeah, my mom's, both my parents are
amazing.
So I always just looked to God for everything. But when I was going through this, I would tell my family, maybe this is for something. And I say that because I believe that we all go through trials. God doesn't waste anything. He uses everything, whether it be any kind of mistake we make in our life, any kind of trials we go through, nothing is wasted.
I agree with you.
She uses everything.
I agree with you.
So I would tell my family, like, maybe I'm going through this because I'm going to help somebody down the road. But then when I started going one breast only, no breasts, I really started to think, okay, well, now I'm going to be able to empathize with the woman who only has one, or the woman who has none. Because I know what it's like to have just one, to have none. I know what it's like to look in the mirror and to see your body look deformed. I know.
As an adult, though, too, that would be so hard. Like, I can't even imagine.
Very hard.
Because when you're kids and you're developing and you're female and all of that plays into the femininity. So I would imagine as an adult, that's just a lot to process. So with that and going to these appointments and getting your treatment plan and meeting all these doctors, it seems like your family was so involved, and that is truly the biggest blessing.
Oh, 100%.
But I would also imagine that it would be very overwhelming. Did you take notes? Did your family, or how did you keep, you are so clearly recapping every minute, every diagnosis, everything. Like you said from the very beginning, it was almost like noise. How did you process? You said you journaled?
I'm a journaler, so I do journal.
Yeah. Did you take notes in the meetings? Did somebody take notes for you? That's a lot to
my mom, she went in with me to all my appointments, took notes. And then one of my best friends, Michelle Visser, she came with me. She took notes too, because actually I had seen a different, went to go see a different surgeon. To get a different second opinion, and she came with me to that. She took honestly, Ray, I think that the Lord gave me such peace.
Wow, that's amazing.
Such peace. When you read in the Bible, you hear in stories about the Lord's peace and his strength, and you hear but when you are walking this out, you know it, and you know that it's true. So I had this peace. I believe that gave me this clear mind to ask the questions, to take it all in. I journaled a lot.
Love that.
I journaled a lot. I had my mom, I would have her take pictures of all the, take a picture of this, and she would laugh. I'm like, but I want to document it. I wanted to document everything.
Wow.
So that is,
and when we're faced with adversity, when we're faced with loss, when we're faced with something traumatic, I have loss and different types of trauma in my life, but there were moments when I questioned my faith, if I'm being perfectly honest, at the beginning. And then it went to the opposite, where I've never been stronger. Did you ever have moments where you're questioning, why? Why me? What is happening right now? And what did you do in those moments?
No.
That's amazing.
Except one moment when they needed to remove the right breast. I was like, what is happening?
What is happening?
I didn't question God.
Yeah.
I never questioned it, because I learned, the Bible taught me that we would face trials. We would face adversity.
That's amazing.
We would. So just because I loved the Lord, and just because I was raised in church doesn't mean that I'm exempt. Doesn't mean that we're exempt. In fact, it means that we're going to be given more trials. It means that we're going to, now being where I'm at, be put through the fire. Right. So I want to back up. When I was in New York, I actually got stuck in Denver.
This is making your way home.
Yeah, when I was coming back, I got stuck in Denver, and I was with another girl due to weather. So we had to spend the night. We ended up having dinner. She told me a story about her daughter who had leukemia when she was young. And I'm like looking at her, and I'm like, what? And she said, yes. And I told her this, Christina. I said, Christina, you know that God was with you when you go through the fire and you come out without being burned. And so, right, we go on. She's telling me everything about her little daughter. I think her daughter was like 3. And her daughter would tell her, Mom, am I going to die? And she said, hearing your 3-year-old tell you this, she goes, I mean, I would, when she was asleep, she's telling me this whole story. And I'm like,
right.
So when I come back, all these little breadcrumbs.
Nuggets, yeah.
So when I was going through this, I was like, okay, Lord. And so, right, Isaiah talks in the book of Isaiah, it talks about going through the fire, and it talks about going through deep waters. And so, God says, though you will go through deep waters, you will not drown. Though you go through the fire, you will not be burned. And I just kept praying these verses, and I kept reading the Bible, and I kept telling God. And I remember right before I was going to go through chemo, I got on my knees in my kitchen, and I told God, usually people my age, majority, they're married, they have children, and that's their why. And I told God, my why is, of course, my family, but ultimately my why was Him. And I told God, let me live, but I want to live for you. That's why I want to live.
Wow.
And I remember bawling out to Him on my knees in my kitchen. And the next day was my basically chemo eve, first night. My mom came and stayed with me. But you know what? I woke up that next morning. She came and stayed with me. We prayed together. We prayed that morning. And she, honestly, it was like when, the Bible says the joy of the Lord is my strength. The joy of the Lord was and is my strength. And when I was at chemo, I was happy. I know.
I feel like you've been so, from what you've shared and the photos that you've shared, and gosh, beautiful cover girl right here. Little sneaky peeky of this. You have such beautiful pieces. Like you said, you wanted to document the whole thing. I feel like you were so positive. I'm sure there were hard times, but
yeah, listen,
you're like smiling, looking all beautiful during treatment. Wow. I've heard that though. I've had close family friends go through treatment, and from what I've read and from what I've heard, and tell me your thoughts on this, your positivity through treatment and your mood, isn't that like everything?
Yeah, it's mind over matter. You just have to.
Yeah.
I would
Gorgeous.
Read my Bible. I would read stories. I would play worship music. I would sing. I would dance when I would feel good. I would do all the things that would keep me going.
Amazing. Yeah. So, and you had a really great support system, which you talked about in this amazing article. So for those that are potentially newly diagnosed or walking this walk, what advice do you have for them as it relates to building the support system? You've seemed very intentional about it.
Yeah. I read. I'm naturally, we are a very tight-knit family, so I'm very close to my mom is my built-in sister, best friend. So I'm really close to my mom and my dad. So, I mean, there were moments where I was scared. And when I was feeling this, it's interesting when I would go to my, well, you're a mom. So like parents go to their moms for certain things, but then they go to their fathers for certain things. Yes. So when I was scared, I'd go to my dad.
Really?
And I would cry to him. There were a few moments and I cried to him and I just told him, I want this to all go away. I want it to go away. And he would hold me and he would say, it's going to go away. God's with you. God has you. And this is when your parents go to the throne room of God for the Lord's child, but for their child. It is super powerful. So I know that my parents, they were going to God. I was, so I had this super like connection. But I would say, I mean, first and foremost, your family. I'm very close to my family. Right. So
seems like
my brothers, my sister-in-laws, my niece, my nephews. I mean, they're all so warm and cuddly, and they just, I love them so much. And my friends, allowing people to be there for you. That was hard for me. I'm usually the person who wants to be there for people.
Right.
I want to do for people. I want to help. I'm the nurturer. But this time God said, nope, you sit there and you let people do for you. You ask. And so I asked. And I shared in that article about my professional experience, about letting people know, and who I was very intentional about who I told. Who I asked to pray for, asked for prayer from. I mean, my professional support team were amazing.
Sounds amazing.
My family, David and Lisa White were, I remember sitting and telling David, listen, I know that you're a good, I remember sitting with him in the conference room and saying, I know you're a good person, and I know, but if I can take a leave of absence. Like, I might need to do this. And he was like, he looked at me like I was crazy. He was like, no, you're going to keep doing whatever, and we're going to support you. And Lisa and I are on your side. And Lisa never skipped a beat. I mean, whether it was a few days that would go by, she was praying or reaching out, or once a week, coming, in the office, praying with me in the office.
Amazing.
Both of them. And even Gunnar and Taylor and their spouses. I mean, they remarkable when you have that, my home family, but when you have your work family that also stands with you, it also helps you to get through without stressing, without worrying.
Right.
My team, they were amazing.
Right.
Jerry, Jackie, Anna.
Beautiful floral centerpiece you see on our shows is styled by floral artist Darcy Hovsepian of DH Floral, and the flowers themselves are actually grown and sourced from local flower farms right here in our Central Valley, thanks to the creation of the San Joaquin Flower Collective. As the first and only source for 100% locally grown flowers in the valley, the San Joaquin Flower Collective's biggest mission is to reduce the need for imported flowers for flower growers and lovers alike. By streamlining the ordering process with an online shopping experience, prioritizing collaboration over competition, and raising awareness for our local flower movement through weekly flower pop-ups on Wednesdays from 10 to 12, they're changing the way farm-grown flowers are bought and sold in the valley. As a wholesaler, a retailer, or just a flower lover, you can follow along at SJ Flower Collective on Instagram for their latest happenings and info on their weekly Wednesday Fresh Bloom pop-ups.
Yeah, such good people. And to your point, that could be stressful, like needing to take time off work or just worried about things that you're missing or wanting to do. Like, that was alleviated with such a amazing support system at home and at work. That's so great. So given your experience, I imagine it changes your perspective on a lot of things in life.
Yes.
How would you explain your new perspective?
So, I live slower than I used to. I don't travel as much, though some people that I ran into, at industry functions. They're like, wait, you're still traveling a lot, but I'm actually not. I don't travel as much for me. I don't travel as much as I used to.
Yeah.
I'm super intentional. If I can sit down and have coffee with somebody like you and I, when you and I met and had coffee, like things so like great. That I wouldn't normally do because I was always so busy with work. But now I'm like, that work's going to always be there. I'm going to meet a friend for coffee. I'm going to meet a friend for lunch. I'm a lot more intentional about how I spend my time.
Right. Really great.
Yes.
Right.
Very careful. You know, I don't drink alcohol as much as I used to. But I think it's because, you know, I'm just cautious about what goes in my body. But when you are on a lot of chemo and you're on a lot of medication, you don't like the way that feels. So anything that's going to alter my body in any kind of way, I mean, I'll have a glass of champagne or wine or two, but I don't drink as much as sometimes. I mean, like the other day, or where was it? Oh yeah, we went on a company dinner, and I was like, everybody, let's all take a shot of Class Azul. And they all looked at me like, what? And I was like, come on, I don't ever do this.
Yeah, like I don't do
and
this.
I don't like, and I was a big tequila drinker, but and I'm like, you know, us Hispanics, we, you know, that's our wine. So we sip tequila. So I did order a glass or a shot of Class Azul, but I did sip it. But we don't, you know, it doesn't happen as often, but it does, you know.
Yes.
Like my oncologist says, enjoy yourself, but, you know, everything in moderation.
Right.
So
it's a good just rule to follow no matter what, right? In life, especially, you know, as we get older, I feel like the hangovers aren't even worth it anymore, you know? No. So let's walk. So treatment wise, how long from diagnosis to you rang the bell, right? Yeah. It's a whole thing. Tell me.
So I started treatment in July.
Okay. In 23, correct?
In 23. I rang the bell in December 20th, 23.
Wow, Angela.
Chemo. Yes.
Yeah.
So there was a month in there that I had to take a break because I was in the hospital for a few days because I had that infection. So we had to wait till I got well again, then started chemo. And then I rang the bell. And then I went back into surgery in February of 24.
Okay.
To do the, so the oncology surgeon to make sure that margins were cleared. They were cleared. And the plastic surgeon put in my right tissue expander. So he only did one. So again, here I was back to only one.
Yeah.
But I think, well, his intention was he wanted to make sure my body was going to accept it. Like, so if those ones didn't work the first time, like, is her body even going to accept this? Yeah. So he did the one tissue expander.
Yeah.
And then, so that was February. And then in then I started radiation in March. So I did 25 rounds of radiation. So from March to May, rang another bell in May. And then in September, because they have to wait till this heals from radiation. So then in September, they put in the left tissue expander. And then they expanded me together.
So a significant amount of time.
So I had at that point 5 surgeries. Yeah. And then just April of 2025, I did my full reconstruction. So yes.
Wow. That's been a journey.
So yes, 16 rounds of radiation, 16 rounds of chemo, 25 rounds of radiation, and 6 surgeries. And maybe possibly one. My next surgery would be, I just discussed it with my oncologist. I am entertaining doing an ovarectomy. So
what is that?
So it's just to remove my ovaries.
Okay.
So right now post-treatment, I currently take a hormone blocker every day.
I would think so.
And then I get an injection in my tummy called Zoladex. So it's an ovary suppressant. So it puts me in menopause.
Okay.
So if you ever see me crazy, it's not natural. It's all medically induced.
Stop. You're the most calm, cool, collected person.
It is, so I want to stop doing the injection because there are side effects to it. And I just would like to, of course, one day be medicine free. I don't even like to take Tylenol unless I absolutely have to. But
I get that.
So I talked to my oncologist recently and asked her.
Good for you.
So she's in favor. So we're going to start to get the discussions rolling.
Right. And you're just so in tune with your body. I mean, right? I mean, were you like that pre-diagnosis?
Yes and no, not as much. I mean, now I feel like everything. And I think, now, yes.
Now
more
you're
so
just
than anything.
rightfully so. Yeah. And it's a lifestyle, right? It's how you feel determines how you travel, how you entertain,
if
how
I don't
you
feel good, I'm going to be the person to say, I'm sorry. I can't. And
sorry,
I
I'm
feel bad
stepping
being
out.
that person. But
right.
Honestly, my health is, health is priceless. And if I don't feel good, I'm staying home.
Right.
And if I feel like I need to rest, I'm resting.
That's so good.
And I've never been more couch potato than I am now. I love being at home. I love my couch.
I do too.
Yes.
I am a homebody through and through. So with that though, we live a very busy life. Our culture is this hustle culture. And in our sort of world of like creatives and marketing and PR, like it's a very fast paced, deadline driven industry. On top of the fact that you were traveling, you say you're traveling less, but more than some, right? How, from a busy working woman's perspective, what would you want kind of being on this other side of your journey? What do you want women to know about like early detection and taking care of yourself?
Early, they say to start getting mammograms at 40. I think you should start at 35.
Really?
I would. I would do self-exams. I would, make sure after I got diagnosed, I went and saw a nutritionist in LA and, she really is into an 80-20 diet. So 80% of the time you eat healthy, you eat clean, you eat organic, all natural. And 20% of the time you have, you have your wine, you have your glass of tequila, you have your piece of bread, you have your cake, so there's, it's of course 80% is a lot more than 20. So you're just kind of healthy living. I still live by that. Exercise.
Taking care of yourself.
And
stress management.
Spending time, meditation for me, it's spending time with the Lord, spending time to make sure that He's first. Hey, when I was on my knees in the kitchen, I told Him I wanted to live for Him. And so making sure that when I am, sometimes I catch myself working a lot. We just finished a Mandarin project and I was like 10 o'clock at night doing research and I had a friend over and we were going through a bunch of stuff. And then I had to like, whoa, Angela. And I had to sit alone with God and, tell Him like, I don't want that. Like and actually I felt bad. I felt like I was in I was in repentance. Like, Lord, I felt like I was, going and not that I was going away from Him. No, not. But it's just you feel like you're getting busy, and I felt so bad. I felt like, I'm not married, but he is my spiritual husband. So I felt like I wasn't spending enough time with him. So I had to realign what I was doing, and He's first. And I feel like doing that helps me immensely in my job, with my family, my friends, just making sure that He's first in all things. And that's what helps me in my job. When I feel like I'm getting, and the Bible talks about that too, you will be tempted. Your flesh wants the desires. So in it, they sees these sparkly things. You're like, oh my God, that looks beautiful. And I want to do this. And there's nothing wrong with enjoying these things, but it's just, what is your focus? And I want my focus to be on God. And I want those things to come because He's blessing me with them. Not because I'm fighting for them, but because they're coming from Him. And so I think I believe He allows us to enjoy these things, but when we keep Him first, we actually enjoy them a lot more because we know that they come from Him.
Right. And you're just so genuine in your heart with that. That's everything. Everything.
Every good thing.
Yes.
From Him.
Amen. So you're having coffee just like we are with a woman who is recently diagnosed with breast cancer. what would you tell her?
That she's not alone, and that she is stronger than she even knows.
Mm.
And that God has her in his hands. Even when you feel like he's not there, he's the closest.
Mm.
That's what I would tell somebody.
Mm.
And do it scared.
Mm-hmm.
Do it scared. You're not alone.
Yeah, and that's so normal to
And
be
it's
scared,
normal.
right? Like that's the other thing. You know, you see these pictures of you smiling and being so positive, but there was some scarcity behind those eyes, right?
There's
and moments where you're on your knees in the kitchen.
moments on my knees in the kitchen, moments laying in bed, crying, moments when you open your eyes in the morning and you're just so thankful that you're still alive. And there are moments that people don't see. And those are the moments that the one who created us sees and knows and holds you. When nobody else holds you, he holds you.
He holds you. And I imagine that going through something like this, it's one of those things where you learn so much about something you never thought you would, right? About your faith, about the journey of breast cancer itself, about treatment, about medicine, about community, all of it.
Everything.
Right? And that's just God's way of teaching you new lessons and building your strength in different ways, right? Flexing different muscles. We've talked a lot about community and support system, but what about the other women that you've met through going through treatment? Have you met, I imagine, some amazing women who have gone through similar things or are breast cancer survivors and have become support for you in those ways that you probably would have never met before, right?
I've met many. I met some women in the infusion room. We all did chemo together, met their husbands. We still keep in touch till this day.
So great.
I've met other women in the radiation waiting room. Still keep in touch till this day. We meet for coffee. We text each other yesterday. Another gal, her birthday was a few weeks ago. We just celebrated her birthday. We check in on each other. We do, do you feel this? Do you feel that? Or, with, healing from reconstruction, is your boob doing this? Or do you feel
Yeah, like the things
you
that you have in
all
common.
These questions, like,
yes.
Like, can you feel your boobs? Like, can you feel your nipples? Like, we're like, can you, we
Yeah.
do, it's kind of funny. We sit there and we also laugh or, what menopause does to you. It's so funny. But it's nice to have somebody. So yes, I still keep in touch with the girls that I did treatment with. I've had people reach out to me after that, and now that they're going through it, for help or even different types of cancer. I have a dear friend that I went to high school with who is battling stage 4 lung cancer right now. She has 2 kids under the age of 3, and she's never smoked a cigarette in her life. And she told me, thank you for sharing your story because it's helped me. And I was just sharing my story as kind of as obedience to God because I didn't want to share it at the beginning. I felt like this is like deep, but then it wasn't about me. It was about him and what he was doing through me. It had nothing to do with Angela. It was about God in Angela. It was about God's healing. It was about God's hand. It was about God being a vessel through the doctors. And that's what I always prayed for my doctors. I would tell God, they're just vessels for you. You are their hands and feet. And so I still keep in touch. I'm still there to help. I still pray for my friend, check on her every day.
That's sweet.
And that's what we do. And that's all we can do, because you can have all the money in the world. You can have all the things. But if God's purpose for you on earth is done. It's time to go to eternity with him, you know, but he has me on earth for a purpose. And if my purpose is to do his will, to help people, to encourage them, to pray for them, to be their strength when they're weak, I want to be that.
Yeah, and you are. You so are. And I appreciate you opening your heart and sharing your story and sharing your truth with not just me, but all of our listeners, because you are helping people.
Oh, thank you.
You really are. And such an inspiration. And I mean, even just, you know, in becoming newer friends in recent, you know, years, I feel like you're just such an inspiration and a bright light of strength and hope for so many. And what would you say to those that are like maybe post-treatment, you know, that it's not just like, okay, yeah, I had cancer, that done, box checked, like moving on. Like it's a part of you, right? It's a part of your story. It affected not only you, the community around you. Like, I think that's something that people don't really, I mean, even as somebody who's been touched by those close to me, loved ones close to me with cancer, it's not like, oh, you're done with treatment. Yay, life goes back to normal. You're a completely different person.
You are. So post-treatment is harder than during treatment.
I would think so.
Treatment, you're in survival mode. You are go. Post-treatment, you are in a processing. Your body's healing, your mind is healing. Now, when I look back at photos, when I look back, you know, when I did this article with the Snack magazine, and they prompt me with the questions, I mean, I wept. And when I read it, and I was like, wait, I'm her. And that was so, it's an out-of-body experience. It is like you look back and you look at photos and you're thinking, wow, I went through that. I did that. That was me.
That was me.
So you have this out-of-body experience. It is hard. You have bad days, but you have really good days. So I just, you know, I capitalize on both because both of them are going to make you the best version that God created you to be for his glory. So I think that I would say share your story. Some people, you know, when you asked me about this, I was like, yeah, because I'm honored to. I'm so thankful to be alive. And when I was thinking about coming and I was praying about it, I never shared with anybody the one breast, zero breasts, and how I got, you know, the Lord built me back. I never shared that with anybody but my family and my close friends. But I felt led to share it on here because I want people to know that there are people, us, myself, who have experienced things. And I want to say that if I've gone through this, I want to do it with purpose. I want to do it to help somebody. And so if you're on the other side of this, share your story because you just never know what could be helping the other person on the other end. You never know.
You just never know. That is so true. Even when you've been opening up about it a little bit more on social and your appointments and sort of checking in, like even from somebody, my perspective, like I'm educated. I am learning with you. I did not know these things. I've learned so much in just this conversation. Like these things as women, we want to lift each other up. We want to support each other, whether we're going through it, our sister's going through it, our bestie's going through it. So thank you for being that person to be able to educate and share and for sharing your heart here today. I'm so grateful.
Thank you. I'm happy. I'm grateful.
Coffee. Cheers to that, girl.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks for listening. Feel free to rate and review this episode here and connect with us on Instagram if you have any thoughts, questions, or any guest suggestions. Thanks.